everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Today we're going to make a fairly healthy dinner. We're going to make a pasta with our own sauce, and we're going to have garlic bread, and our sauce is going to have Italian sausage in it. We're going to have salad. We're going to make our own salad dressing. For dessert, we're going to have apples. So for cheese, you can buy like a Kraft type version. You can buy the bag of the pre-made. That's my emergency backup. Or you can have the chunk of Parmesan. So I put some water in the pan. I don't really measure it. I just put enough in. You have to cover the pasta. I'm going to use 2 handfuls of pasta. That should be enough for 2 people. Let's start with making our pasta sauce. Okay, so for pasta sauce, I like to make my own. So I take and I use tomatoes, and I use tomato sauce, and I use tomato paste. And this is probably not going to want to come out real easy. Tomato paste is real thick. Just put some of that in there like that. Okay, we'll call that a done deal. Now I also have my seasonings. I have salt, which I'll put a little bit of salt in here. Not going to put any salt in the pasta water until it starts to boil. So here is some black pepper. I'm going to put some black pepper in. I'm going to put in some onion powder. And that is going to be my garlic powder. Next I have my oregano. And lastly, I have Italian seasoning. I guess that has everything that's a seasoning tied to an Italian. Okay, so I have all those in there. Now, let's get some tomato sauce. The kind of tomato sauce really that you buy probably doesn't much matter. To be honest with you, tomatoes are tomatoes. Tomato sauce, tomato sauce. Some people buy it pre-made. I like to make it myself. Okay, there we go. That's in there. Okay, here's your diced tomatoes. Now sometimes what I do with the diced tomatoes is I use part of it in the pasta sauce, and I use the other part to make pico de gallo or bruschetta as an hors d'oeuvre. But today, because we did the garlic bread for a treat, we did not do the bruschetta. Last ingredient is the secret ingredient, and that is going to be some red wine. Pick some good red wine that you like, because you'll probably want to drink a little bit of it along the way. Okay, Italian sausage. Nothing too terribly fancy about this. Pick some nice Italian sausage that you like. Okay, this is pretty simple. I make pretty simple meals. I try not to make things too complicated. It's just fun just to cook or make a homemade meal. Barb and I, Pete's going out. We went out for dinner last night. We had a nice dinner out. Today, after church, we're cooking. Okay, I'm putting the sausage in with the pasta sauce. So I'll just kind of stir this up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to get this on the stove. And now that the water is starting to boil, let's get the pasta in. I like to buy these, I think you call these rigatoni, I think. let's start on the Italian bread. Okay, the trick for the Italian bread is going to be to slice it down the center like this. I leave just a little bit so I kind of break it when I do it. Okay, now there's lots of things you can use with this. Here is some garlic. Here is a garlic bread type butter, pre-made. I'm going to make this from scratch, so I'm going to butter this. Now, let's take some of this minced garlic. Use up the rest of this. For a little tip, I put this in my eggs in the morning, and these are delicious. And then I have just a little bit of garlic powder here. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on too. I find this is just a little bit of different, adds another dimension to the flavor. Okay, now these I'm going to take and I'm going to throw these in the toaster. The next thing we need to do is we need to grate up our cheese. So let's very carefully open this up. So I'm cutting myself with a brand new knife, especially being that I'm a retired firefighter and a medic. It would be a bummer because I have to take care of myself. Okay, just going to grade this up. Okay, there we go. That's all graded. That's all set and ready to go. Next on the salad. So what I did was I took the lettuce, did that. That breaks the bottom, the core. Pull that out like that. Pitch it. Two salad bowls. Lettuce. Pull right out of the center of the head of the lettuce. You don't have to take time to wash or anything. It's right in the center of the lettuce. Nothing has seen the inside of this lettuce head. Okay, that's all set. Cucumbers, like all fruit, puts off a gas. And it's a gas to tell it to ripen. So you want to rinse them to rinse that gas off. And that's about all the detail I know about that. You can check Google for the rest of the information on that. I have these all lined up, ready to go. There you go. I try to stay on the top of the blade. Cucumbers in the salad. Okay, good. All right. Next, I shredded carrots. So I have things all cleaned up, and now I'm ready to get my bread going the right direction. I pulled it out of the toaster oven. I'm just going to break it in half. Just like this. I'm going to put it in this wicker basket with a towel to keep it going. I also put a stone in the bottom of it from time to time. You put the stone in the oven to get it hot, and you put it in the bottom, and then it keeps the bread warm. But we're going to eat right away, so probably don't need that. Let's go ahead and make our salad dressing, and then we'll dish this up and we'll be ready to eat. So we're going to start out, we're going to make today the Thousand Island. So with Thousand Island, you just start out with a mayonnaise. You use about a half a cup of mayonnaise, or in this case, I'm using about enough for two of us to have salad dressing. Okay? So I squirt that in the bowl. Then I take a break and pour my coffee. Because being Italian, I have to have either coffee or wine while I cook. Better that I drink coffee than wine. I might get a little goofy. The show might be a little more interesting than when I was throwing tomatoes all over the place. Okay, so the next thing you want to put in there is just a little squirt of some white vinegar. I get these things from the dollar store. I love it. Okay, if you want, you can put a little bit of that wine in there too. That'll probably make it taste good. A little splash of that wine. Okay, you need some Worcestershire sauce. And just a little bit of that. A little bit of that goes a long way, so you don't want to use too much of that. I'm going to put in some onion powder, because you could cut up onions and garlic, but once again, we need to kind of get going here on eating. So I'm kind of using a few things that I would normally do from scratch. A little bit more of that garlic that we use for the garlic bread. Put that in there. Ketchup, a couple of tablespoons of ketchup. As a matter of fact, if you subscribe today, I will send you the instructions for my ingredients. So be sure to click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell, and then when I drop a new video, you'll get notification. Okay, so we put that in. Next thing we need to do is a little bit of pickle relish. So let's throw in some pickle relish. Another couple of tablespoons of that. If you put in too much of that, that's a little too strong, so you might want to put a little in at a time on that. Okay? So we have all that stuff ready to go. Next thing I need to do is just stir it up. And see if it looks like it's the color of Thousand Island, we're done. Like that. You just put it right in the center. I'll put all the rest for me. Barb goes a little easy on the dairy products, and I'm going to go a little heavy on the dairy products. All right. Now, we need some pasta. So the pasta, I drained, I let it sit a little bit. I have it all set, ready to go. A little bit of pasta in each plate. So this was 3 handfuls. As you can see, I kind of made a lot. I probably could have just went with the 2 handfuls, but I have this thing. I always have to make more. I have extra. So if we have any leftovers, it'll be leftovers. Okay, now we have the main ingredient. So this was pasta sauce, tomato paste. There's garlic and onion and black pepper. There is sausage that is cut up in here, Italian sausage. And I am just going to scoop it out like this, right here in the center. Just like that. Now, there is another way of doing this, and some people believe that you should serve it this way, so it looks like this. Other people think you should do this, like this. Put your pasta in there. And then it's a really awesome mix. Okay, and then instead of a ladle, I just use the scoop, like that. Okay, bring this up. You don't see the cook do this in the kitchen. Gotta taste it, make sure, see how good it tastes. Okay, there's my presentation. Okay, I'm using cheese. I'll wait and let Barb put her own cheese on. It's fresh grated. And then fresh ground black pepper. My pepper mill is empty, so I'm using the black pepper someone else milled for me. Okay, this is all set, ready to go. Take a swig of coffee. Oh, that is good. Okay. Now, one last thing is to think about the dessert. for the dessert, I'm using my Play Toy the apple slicer. And it makes an apple like that. Everything is all set. Thanks for joining us. Visit us next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll send you the recipes for my ingredients. Have a great day.